loud because for some reason the audio is not capturing. So, all right, calling our March meeting to order, maskless. If we can please rise for prayer and Julie. Start with our prayer. Heavenly Father, please watch over us tonight and the whole world as we've gotten a little crazy. Please help protect everyone, especially those in Ukraine and the surrounding countries, and give us the power to do what's best, and hopefully things will turn out right. In your name, amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, be seated. So, 7 o'clock. Yep. We are going to do a privilege of the floor. We're going to get into the public hearing momentarily. So if anyone's here for the public hearing, please hang on for 1 second. But privilege of the floor, does anyone have anything they'd like to bring before the planning board? One. Twice. All right. Thank you. Review and modify the agenda. One correction. We will not be doing the seeker for the Delaware Solar project tonight due to the fact that not all of the paperwork from the agencies was received, so we will hold off on the seeker until April. We will still be doing the public hearing, however, tonight. So we will scratch that. Any other changes or additions? Have a motion to approve the agenda. Make a motion to approve the agenda. Ken? Andy, second. Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Okay, thank you. We have the draft minutes. I get to look them over myself, so give us a second here to look it over. I know this is my error, and because I keep saying Uniform Building Code law when it's actually just the Board of Appeals law. I don't know, too much on my mind. So under D, Angie, if we can change that to just the Board of Appeals law as opposed to Uniform Building Code. And same thing in the statement I, the first statement under there. Right. Yep.
Oh, you should. That was February 1st.
Yep.
I had the worst problem with computers. I can't think of it now.
Nice catch. Thank you. That's all I can see. If give everyone another second here, and if so, if I can have a motion to approve the minutes as modified. Andy, second. Yes, thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you. Okay. Correspondence. We have the trainings. Just making sure everyone receives the trainings via email from Lane Jardine, and also the Planning Federation is going to be holding a few additional trainings. They are still free at this point. So I did not receive anything in the mailbox, so that's the only correspondence that I have. so moving into, new business. At this time, I'd like to open up the, public hearing for the Delaware, solar project on, 96 and Grizzlyville Crossing at Amon Farms.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess I'll do a quick introduction of the project. I'm Kelly Sullivan, I'm, the project manager for Bergman. With us is Pete from Delaware River Solar. So Delaware River Solar is proposing to develop and construct and operate a 4.98 megawatt AC solar system via a lease agreement over 4 tax parcels. The project would occupy 31.8 acres, with 30 of those acres being inside the fence line of 167 total property acres. The lot coverage for this project is around 19%. The solar panels are installed on a racking system on pile-driven posts. The maximum height of the panels is around 10 feet. The solar facility would be surrounded by a 7-foot wire mesh perimeter fence with a locking between gate. With a permeable access driveway would exit the property along Spencer Road. Similar project was proposed and approved by the town in 2016. This project that is currently being proposed is 5 acres smaller than the original project that was approved. So this is a similar, obviously, project and that was approved with the small difference. So any questions or comments for myself or Pete? Not here for this. Okay. Any questions?
Any questions once? Any questions twice? And any questions for the third time? We have that 3 times. Okay, since there are no questions, then I close the public hearing for the project.
Okay.
Yeah, we got no comments on YouTube. I just want to make sure it's there. So we are closing at 7:07. So we will have you guys back then in April.
Okay.
For the seeker and the final decisions for the project. And our meeting in April will be held on Tuesday, April 5th. Tuesday, April 5th, 7 p.m. Quick and painless.
I tried to push them.
I appreciate you providing us all of the paperwork. I did print it out for the members of the board,
Okay.
so they could review it ahead of time, so we should be able to go right through
Great.
it. And,
Let me know if there's any changes and I can, change that.
absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much. So, next we will, we're gonna get into it, there's part of the beautiful barn. But that was, yeah. Okay. All right, so, next on the agenda is the, beautiful barn venue site plan review. I did, mention, in fact, we should have edited that out, I apologize. No seeker, tonight, we'll send it to 239 review, and then when it comes back from 239, we'll do the seeker and final decision at that meeting. So, with that, we can, do the, site plan review. The, paperwork has been provided, by Paul Tubbs and Jim Douglas, so, give everyone a moment to, review, and, if you want to, introduce yourself and, explain the project.
I'm Roger Dyer, and I am opening a wedding venue on Hill Road. Our goal to accommodate 200 people for not just weddings, but any retirement party, birthday party, graduation. You can talk to Wayne, and you might have cater school prom up there sometime. We have 10 cabins for people to sleep in down back, so we're gonna try to house probably 30 to 50 if we're lucky, so that way people don't have to drive. We've been going at it for 3 years. Just started, I did built a 125-year-old barn. Did a lot of structural work to it.
Saw the pictures, that you guys, sent out.
Yeah, her and I did all the siding, we did a lot of, most of it once for ourselves. So we're hoping that we'll build it up.
All right. Well, we will, so look over the application here. How old is the property and,
The property is the old Candor farm up on Anderson Hill, so it's been here, well, the barn's 113 years old itself. But that's, so I'm guessing about 125 years it's been up there. The original house is still on the property. A lot of history in that barn.
I am, and this is nothing, nothing against, you, Ronnie, this is something that we actually have to do. So, Paul, I know I sent, our previous code enforcement officer the new, site plan, form, that has, information for email and things like that. I'm noticing that, the template has not been adapted, so I'll send it to your email, and we can work on formatting it to the new one that was approved by the board.
This is the color code.
Thank you.
Now, do they have to have special fire exits for the second floor?
We're gonna end up going for a state variance for sprinklers because it's over 100 occupancy load. So that'll all be addressed by the state.
Well, what about the exit?
That'll be addressed by the state, because they typically, in lieu of that, they require extra exits. And there will be a couple of sets of stairs coming up in the second floor, large sets of stairs coming up.
Yeah, because I didn't see any on the.
No, they haven't built them yet, but,
Okay.
and they're holding off on it until after the state variance, because they might have to be wide for occupancy load. You know, instead of 3 foot, they might have to be 6 or 8 feet wide.
Gotcha. When is the, state variance?
We haven't even filled out the paperwork.
Haven't filled out the paperwork yet, okay.
They don't plan on doing anything till next year,
Okay.
so we've got a long ways to go yet on all that stuff.
You know, with the way the state looks.
That could be a very long time.
Anyway, I've done 2 of these variances and they've come back okay, so.
And the way I move buildings actually, it might be that long.
It may take that long to get here.
Yeah, right. So it's a change of occupancy from agricultural to assembly? Okay. On 23 acres, 3-year construction fund. So in addition to, the project, and you say you have, like 10 cabins and things, are you, thinking of just renting the cabins out, like, not like a bed and breakfast, but, you know, anything
Well,
like that?
on the, website, we offer, I think it's a $29,000 package. That's from Thursday, and they leave by Monday, which gives the, you know, you pay the $29,000, you get access to 10 cabins for any guests that you want to come up, they're out of state, they have someplace to stay. And then up in the barn, there's, a shower house for people in the cabins to be able to take a shower and all that. The cabins will have just, solar powered, just enough to, you know, plug in a cell phone and have an outside light on the front porches, a little light on the inside, and there's a back, you know, just a, not really an outhouse, it's one of the sheds we split two, they'll have a compost toilet in each one, so it doesn't make any sense. And then they have full access to the barn during the day. We're looking at maybe, you know, Airbnb them maybe someday, offer them to hunters or hikers, anything, you know, I mean, there's a lot of that around here. So we thought maybe we spend a lot of it when we researched it, it's been around a while. There's a few new places. But we wanna offer someplace out of Ithaca or out of, something a little closer.
Yeah, we got, Ithaca Cornell graduation.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking to try to get hooked up with Cornell alumni, because we know the, I can't remember her name, but she takes care of the, like, catering and stuff like that for the Cornell alumni. And, she said they have a hard time finding venues that hold over 300 people.
Well, then we can, do.
So we're targeting all that kind of stuff.
Right.
We had a little graduation party for our neighbors across the street in Hornets. That's when Wayne came up, and And he said, geez, you know, maybe we go to celebrations and so much we pay. Boy, it'd be nice to have something right here that could hold it all.
Oh, sorry.
You can't understand a drawing, but your count probably slapped.
Yeah.
Expense fund never hit you with the teeth.
No, never.
No, he didn't, he never did.
I do the drawings and the little woman did the color coding.
So, Paul and Jim, as you've been working with Rodney, is there anything jumping out to you guys that is of concern or anything that?
Just code things, basically. We've got forms in there, we're gonna do a complete plan review. So that's going to address a lot of issues, you know, stairs, railing,
Right.
a lot of safety things.
Okay. And all that will be handled with the state review, as you said, so we'll certainly look at that after, once that goes through the process. Yeah. Same thing with, access off the road and everything, that'll be DOT.
Yeah. We'll look for fire lanes, things like that.
Yep.
There's a pond across the street for water, fire department.
Or, does the DOT even get involved with Anderson?
No, DOT.
Oh, yeah, we can be DOT.
But there's still requirements for the code for fire lanes.
Yeah, yeah.
Access.
We had W. Kirk put all the roads and drainage around the whole property.
Yep.
So we made that 14-foot wide roads, drainage everywhere.
Appreciate you keeping it in the town, that's.
Everything has been, that we haven't hired out of town.
That's great.
Deep Creek did all the concrete, Myron, Van Heusen, been doing all the electric. W. Kirk did all the septic, roads and drainage. So we keep everything right now.
Great.
Paul and I did take a tour of it up here, it's gonna be pretty nice.
Yeah. Sounds
Just
just,
done a good job.
just from what we're seeing.
Are you insulating it for
Yep.
winter? Okay.
Everything, all the walls are insulated, the ceiling's not insulated yet, because the little woman likes the looks of that 100-year-old ceiling in there. But the propane bill this winter, she's
Changing it.
starting to think a little different about it, so. But it might be a matter of ripping off the roof, burn it up, put insulation on the top, but she's dead set on looking for that barn on the inside.
Yeah, you might be able to put a
Gorgeous.
space
Yeah.
between,
Because I'm gonna be putting LED lighting on the top of the walls, which shines up on that.
oh, yeah.
Even, or even fit panel,
Um,
fit panel, right?
Yeah,
That'll work good, sure.
yeah, there's a lot of different options in that.
Put those right up on top.
Yeah, Scott Smith's up there. So, yeah,
Scott Smith.
Propane.
propane. We got 400,000 BTU units in the main part of the barn, and we've got 32,000 BTU units.
And are
Throughout
you
the rest.
leasing your tanks?
I'm sorry,
Are you leasing the tank?
no, Scott Smith provided it. We didn't have to buy it or nothing, he just put a 1,000-gallon tank, and he said, did you use us for,
So basically, it's a lease.
uh,
You don't own it.
I don't know, I don't think so. No, Scott, yeah, but I that's basically,
You're leasing it. You
Yeah.
pay a little bit more on each gallon of propane for that tank.
okay.
If you want to, I bought my tank from Lake to Lake Energy, Lake to Lake Gas, the Amish up in Penn. I bought the tank, it was $1,200 cheaper than Scott Smith and stuff.
Yeah.
I buried it, and now I get my propane through the co-op.
Oh, okay.
And for an example, propane, now, what'd you pay for your last bill?
$1,300.
You know, how much about a gallon?
No, I don't pay.
I just paid them $4, $3.99 a gallon.
$3.99.
To fill it up is $2,200.
I just got my tank filled up, and my propane, I buy it because I'm on the co-op, $2.50.
Very good. Yeah,
Was
well,
it early before the price, we got ours?
No, it's because I'm on the co-op.
No, I'm saying not, ours, we pay, $2.28, because
You lock it
we
in.
locked it in early, and we got lucky this year.
And you can't lock it in with the co-op. Well, like, if you fill up your tank in September, it's, I think I paid $1.15. But you gotta buy the tank from the,
yeah. Well, I remember, Scott was saying that they weren't gonna charge us or lease us. We don't have to pay extra for the tank. They were just gonna provide it because they knew the consumption of propane we were gonna go through. That they were like, listen, and because we had them do the whole gas lines to the whole barn. I didn't mess with anything like that, anything electric, gas lines, all that stuff, we hired all that out.
well, if you want, have Jim get in touch with me.
Yeah,
I'll give you the name, the guy's Mill, he's an Amish guy up in Penn.
yeah.
He'll sell you a 1,000-gallon tank, swap it out this summer, and then you register and get on the co-op.
Yeah, so we're thinking about putting 1,000 gallons down at the cabin. Instead of because the heaters require at least 100-pound tank or better.
Yeah.
So instead of having to worry about it, plus the little woman doesn't like to put the propane tank on the each cabin. She goes, that's just, it's not big enough, so
Yeah,
we're thinking about putting a bigger tank out back.
because he sells
You know what I
berry,
mean, right? I do know there is.
he sells red berry tanks and more above ground tanks.
The one in the woods, I'd like to put that underground, I think. That's what she would like to do. She doesn't just want, I had a heck of a time talking her into putting a 1,000-gallon tank where it is now without burying it. The cost of burying it and all that. You know what I mean? So
But it gets to that.
the one that's gonna go behind the cabin is definitely gonna have to be buried. She's not gonna have that.
You'll just have to run a lot of copper.
Yeah.
So, are there any questions from the board? So I guess, the only question that I have is, you said the timeline's over a few years for housing. So how do we want to process this out, you know?
We'd like to open March 2023 officially.
Okay, so, not off the state highway, but the only thing would be increase in traffic flow would follow the 239. So that would be a 239 activation.
How far is it from the municipality to go over the hill?
Oh, it's not that far.
So that might be the.
That might be another trip, okay. So either way, we're meeting one of the conditions for a 239, review.
Yeah, if it's not necessary, then, we'll say that we don't need to have them.
Yeah.
She said we don't need to see it.
So, my suggestion, I guess, is going to be, if the board agrees with me on this, speaking freely at this moment, so please stop me if you feel otherwise, would be to, go on for the state, make sure all that, because I'm sure that in part, you can probably, check me on this one, the county wants to see all that information before they make a final decision.
Well, I don't know why they would, because it's actually the building code, really shouldn't have anything.
Shouldn't have anything to do with it.
We went to the county.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to the county and they said, you're so far up for 96, that's a county.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
They didn't want anything to do with it.
Okay, perfect.
It's
So,
right there, and then we, yeah.
do you have, just for the record, do you have like an email or anything, from, Lynn Jardine?
I don't know, I have to have Sarah on that, but I know that she personally went down and talked to her,
Okay,
and that's what she had told her.
okay. If you can get that copy, so it can stay in the records, we'd appreciate that. Other than that, I have no problems. Does anyone have any problems with the plan? So, this is,
Are you you in good terms with the neighbors up there?
Very good.
So they know what's coming?
Yeah, everybody's had a little shindig there already.
That's a great way to get them all.
Yeah, I mean, they're all for it. They're all happy to see that the barn got saved. They're all happy that, they all come over. We had rescues from all. Like I said, Dave across the street had a, Ray's graduation party there. Like across the street, they had like a little family like Valentine's Day. So all the neighbors are all into it. They've all been over to the house.
And you're gonna invite us up for a party.
Well, yeah, we dropped off invitations for New Year's, but COVID was kind of ran a little bit higher then, so we kind of canceled it. Actually, Henry, I think, ended up showing up anyway. So it was just neighbors and Henry.
Yeah. So, I guess, at this point, if I can, have a motion from the board, I would say, approve pending state review.
I'll make a motion that we approve pending state review.
Robin, second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. All right.
Basically, the state review is just for you.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we will have to, the word, well, modifications are pretty much done at this point, but it should, by state law, go through the secret process. We can do that at a later date as the project gets closer to completion.
Okay.
Contact, contact, Paul and Jim, and, we'll spring back for one more to do the secret, which is the environmental quality review.
Okay.
Since the project is already ongoing and the barn was there already, it'll be a short form review. We can send them to you just to review. It'll take us 10, 15 minutes to go through a quick short form review, but it has to be on the file, and we'll have it with the file. That way, it'll close everything for the project.
Okay. So the only thing I need to get you right away is the, email from the county.
Yes, you can just send it to Paul or Jim, and that way we can print it out, import it to me, and I'll send it to the board just for review, and it'll just go with your file.
Okay, great.
And if you didn't get an email from them, just email Elaine, saying, just want to verify that we're good. She'll
Oh,
respond.
she'll just grab a couple copies and tell her to do it, or That's all she does, things.
That'll work.
She's a person, she don't like email stuff either, she likes to go out and talk.
I like it. All right, I just signed off on your approval form here, so we'll make some copies, put it in your file, and you're good to continue.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And you could do just a copy of the state and
Okay.
pages here with my signature, so we can keep the original and the copy over to.
So you want me to copy all this?
Just
Just the
the
top one?
first 2 pages, I think I did. Yeah, thank you.
I'm job training.
Wow, this is going a lot faster than I anticipated. I was hoping.
Yeah.
I did talk to him earlier, and he said he's not planning on coming, but he's gonna provide, report for us. He will be here, however, when there are site review. Which, he was here tonight, which I greatly appreciate. All right, so we will, wait for, Webmaster and Paul, and then, move on to the, Board of Appeals law updates, which was really simple. And it really didn't change anything.
Was there one particular thing that stuck out?
There was one statement that the attorney just recommended that we remove, and the board presented it, so we removed it, and then I reformatted the entire document because it was a nightmare. This took about 3.5 hours to read.
I printed it off the format you originally sent.
Uh-huh.
It looks, yeah, it's cut in the middle of the pages.
So you have a nicely formatted document now.
See that? When you get to it, I've got a question.
Sure.
On your meeting minutes, there it says, to include
The original stays in a file in the office of the code enforcement officer, and the copy goes with the front.
In your meeting minutes, on D, down there under 6, it says, attorney suggests updates, which we know what they are. The attorney suggests to amend uniform, which we know is DOA code law, to include the state, but you actually took out essentially.
Yes, we removed the state. We talked to
Okay.
Angie about that at the last meeting.
Okay,
About how it should have been reworded. I guess it's all you got.
all right.
But yeah.
What is it?
So remember we had the conversation at the last meeting, in regards to how to write in what we talked about with the Board of Appeals.
Right.
So, where am I at?
A copy of the old version.
Which minutes, so it was on February.
It's on the planning board minutes, the draft, the February 1st. Down there under 6D, and then it's I. It's right here.
Yeah.
You had a lot of word in there.
Yeah, because I changed it to an attorney suggested update. That's what I did.
Okay, because
Changed
it's
it
like,
to-
oh, I thought you eliminated and reformatted, but I didn't see where that was put in, so.
We didn't put in the minutes that you guys, eliminate words
Yeah.
that we don't have in the format.
Yeah. All right, so Angie, webmaster update. Anything? Okay, moving on. Paul is in there, so we will wait and see if he comes back. However, he did say he was extremely busy. He did mention that I'll state that for, there's a lot of things that he is getting contacted about. Yes. It's a lot more work than he was anticipating. So, all right, so the Board of Appeals law update.
So can I go back?
Yes,
So what Norma's saying is,
on
on
our,
our minutes, we should change that a little bit. She's talking about 6D, need to add in the minutes, that the updated is reformatted, correct?
Yeah, because you eliminated the last sentence on 3.2 of section 3, but you didn't add, as far as I know, you did not add anything. Correct? I've got the old version and the new version.
yeah, it should just say the attorney suggested we amend the law.
Okay.
Yes.
That's it.
And leave it at that.
So we need to revise that.
Yes. You need to make another
No. Because we said with modifications, these are still part of the law.
Right,
Okay.
because I haven't even touched
Yeah.
about that.
Okay, so I sent out, to everybody the change. And it was a simple removal of a statement, I don't know why I don't have the original.
What, are we still on our law, or are we gonna?
Yes, we're moving.
I have the original one of what you deleted.
Oh, perfect, could you bring that?
I will
please,
share.
Laura? Thank you.
Share it with us?
Here's the new one, here's, I
I've got the new one, I just,
I highlighted what you deleted.
so,
And then you also changed on this one here, the new one made this 3.3.
Yeah, because it was missing. Yep. Yeah, those are part of the formatting changes. So, okay, so under section 3.2, there was a statement that followed what is on the new version here. Such order, requirement, decision, or determination shall include, but are not limited to, building permits and certificates of occupancy. That is what was recommended that we remove by the attorney, so that it just states, the Board of Appeals shall have the powers of the appellate review of any order, requirement, decision, or determination made by the code enforcement officer in the administration and enforcement of all local and state laws.
It's just a repeat of the
Yeah.
other one. More
So it really didn't do much in fine. So, and then, so it was missing the 3.3. That whole section was missing. It was, in fact, it said, interpretations, requirements, decisions, and determinations, the Board of Appeals may it was a sentence, which it shouldn't have been. It was actually the heading, so I made that change as part of the formatting. It was missing spaces throughout the, or not spaces, actual lines between things, so I did that. I lined up everything per proper formatting of our law. The date was wrong, and the version up the top was listed improperly. It was 2016 or 2017X.
Oh, I
It was. So I changed it to, yeah. So it never got updated to what it should have been. So in this case, since it is now March, the new law would be 2022-3, version 1. So that is it. Yes.
Who sends this to on to the right now? I know we have to send it to the state. Who sends it to the ACRB?
It should be Carol.
So who tells Carol she's got to do it?
Oh, okay.
This is a go from the town board for approval?
You have to send a copy to,
Let's say, yeah, good question.
It has to go through the town first.
right, you have to be approved.
So, what does the town board do then, because they approve, well, it doesn't matter. So, how do I go to the town board approve it? Do I go to the general,
It'll be in meeting minutes if you want.
It'll be
Yeah,
meeting minutes,
yeah.
but also
The document.
you work with Carol,
Right, okay,
so,
okay.
yeah.
And
Really, I
after,
mean,
and after you send me stuff,
Yeah.
we're good.
Carol's ultimately the one that needs to send it to the
Okay.
state and to the county.
I'm sure she knows because they've already done other laws, like the tax change law, the tax.
I don't know if they did.
Richard just said that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure, I'll put it in it. So, once the town board approves, then I tell.
They're gonna have to do a public hearing.
Right,
Town board will have to do a public hearing at their, meeting. Then they can, do the final vote
Right.
for this.
right.
And then,
And then once they approve it, Carol sends it to.
so it'll be April by the time,
And the county,
in the county.
if they get the posting for the.
So she does a good job there.
There were no signs of here.
Oh, I'll tell her.
Unless somebody, yeah. So.
No, I don't think there was, because I was there the other day and.
Okay, so with the edits that I made and sent out, are there any other questions in regards to the Board of Appeals law, removal of that statement? And I also did formatting. I figured since I had it, I reformatted it to where it meets our current standard for the law. So it was missing a bunch of sections, top headings, and, yeah. Yeah.
I make a motion to accept the updated changes to the Board of Appeals.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Okay, I will, send this off to the, town board, and then they'll set a, public hearing at their, meeting, for April, I would assume. And then, this could be voted on and then move forward with that All right, moving on, old business.
We gotta go to.
Oh, code enforcement officer update. So, two code enforcement officers, we skipped you while you were, back. So, basically, this is your chance just to give us a quick rundown of some of the projects you've been working on, and, any questions or anything we can help you with, or vice versa.
Welcome, Paul. We really appreciate you coming to this meeting.
I've got a lot to learn, and it's pretty overwhelming, I think that's, yeah. The 239 solar power project we've been doing, and several small things. A couple houses that are in the works, talking about, a lot of stuff is in the works, and I think when the weather breaks, a lot of stuff is gonna start happening. But they're discussing things with a lot of different people.
And there's another venue out there too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You mean similar,
No.
Not that scale.
not that, but same type of thing?
Tiny house.
Tiny houses.
This is the one up on Prospect Valley.
Seems like they jumped the gun.
A lot of folks do.
Especially during COVID. Sure, yeah, let's do this, nobody's gonna notice.
My question was sewage and stuff up there, how, that was, when I looked up, I went on that, went up the road and looked to see all that. How did you get on sewage?
We have to get with, see what's going on with it.
Yeah, he'll be in to see you.
That's one of my big questions.
The tiny homes.
The tiny
Oh,
homes.
I call up there.
Yeah, you have to see it.
He's gonna need a site plan review.
Yeah.
In the area or people?
No, he grew up there, it's exactly from Cornell.
So since they also have the, solar panel array that is bigger than, that would be a separate thing, thinking that we have, is that gonna be two separate things that we have to discuss?
We'll have to get more information on decide that.
Okay.
It could be part of the whole project. Maybe just another phase or something.
Right.
And then you'll have to go see the county for the septic, right? To get-
It'll have to be an engineered system. So
Yeah.
Not necessarily the county, just has to be an engineered system. County does residential, they typically stay away from anything commercial. Just design residential.
Yeah. No, he was easy to work with.
Yeah, Ace,
Yeah.
that is good.
Yeah. And I did by myself and I saved a ton of money.
Oh, yeah, you will.
Good.
Any other, questions? Okay.
Are you, Paul, but are you part-time?
Yeah.
Tell me, are you truly part-time?
Well, I have, the job, to be perfectly honest with you, the job requires more than one time, for me. And,
I've been coming in and out of it.
because I can't do it in time. And I can only make, I didn't know all this when I said that I'd take the job, but I signed up for Social Security, and I'm only allowed to make X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
But the time frame that I was told for the job was gonna work fine, but I don't think that they knew really all that was involved with
No, I'm
this job.
sure Jim would probably say that when you get more experience in this,
Well, maybe.
and like you said, this is the start of the business.
And catching up on a lot of old stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, is it because it was such a backlog because of just the way things were working?
Typically, how we do, yeah.
Yeah.
There's still, I mean, there's a lot more to it than I realized. The paperwork is what it is.
That was gonna be my question, is there any way that if we support of other individuals here who may not have?
All right, you pay the big bucks, Jim.
And I, to be perfectly honest with you, I couldn't do it anymore. And I think that might have been some of the reason why things got the way they were. Could be wrong, but
Some of it was added.
I I've been hearing that pretty regular. And I feel on that.
We certainly appreciate the collaboration between, the boards, and there's definitely, something to be said about, us working with the, code enforcement team to help, bring plans to us and for us to help, you in any way that we can, so greatly appreciate the communication.
Can I direct a question to you, Jim? Sure. So, a little over a year ago, I got a certificate of occupancy for my house and a certificate of compliance for my shop. And because Marty never qualified, do I need to have that redone?
What do you mean they're qualified?
Well, he never passed the exam.
Well, the exam was only for the civil service because our population is over 5,000. I had to take the exam as well.
Right.
I think he's taken it 3 times. It's not been successful.
I heard it was more than that.
Yeah.
But that
That's
doesn't
what I.
validate.
It doesn't validate. There was exemptions due to COVID and a bunch of other things too.
He's certified code officer, he's gone through the training and everything. So, and he was the authority having jurisdiction at the time that the issue. So, you're good with that.
Okay, cool. One other question. You used to show up wearing a little badge. You guys get a badge?
Yeah. Always been in the. I've never.
I didn't think it was necessary.
No, I told them the one time you showed up, I said, you got 3 choices. I said, put it in your glove box, throw it in the river, or put it where the sun comes out. I said, I don't care, but don't wear that around here.
All right, so
I
thank
do
you.
have one question. What are your hours? So if anybody was really looking for you, like,
There is 8 to 4, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but I am gonna make myself available for inspection. Like, if somebody needs an inspection, it's gonna hold the job up.
Now, are you gonna have a cell phone to be reached on?
Oh, yeah, they got my personal cell phone.
Call him all weekend long.
now you guys are hurting my feelings, okay?
Should I get that number?
It's
It's
on the
on the
website.
website.
It's probably on your answering machine too.
No,
No, but I do have to go in and change some stuff, because a lot of stuff we got Marty's phone number on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I already deleted them on my phone.
all right, then that's good. At least, guys, we can keep it, if we have questions, keep it ourselves, keep it, so things are going
On
on.
my cell phone.
Paul's doing a good job, though, he really is.
I do gotta compliment you on how clean that office is. You could dance in there. I mean,
It's got a long way to go.
I know, but we were like shocked. You know,
I'm working on it.
Well, that's good, thank you.
All right, moving on to, old business, so I'd like to schedule a, workshop to begin, to go over the emergency operations plan. I know I've, sent it to everybody to look it over and review. It's a very long document, but I think it'll be very straightforward.
Are you guys in order?
Talk about the essentials, it's not what, and it's a lot of it is because of COVID and things of that nature, so.
Okay.
Well, I just wanted to do it
That's
over.
right.
And I made a bunch of changes to some things.
Oh, perfect. Do you wanna hold the meeting?
No, I'm just saying I've done that.
You wanna start? You wanna start with
It
tonight?
should be a quick one.
Do you wanna get our word in now?
No, we don't have to, it's up to you guys.
I'm not saying we have to, I'm saying it's straightforward, if you wanna
Well-
start it. Okay, we can finish it, not have to.
I think you're like, so I have to figure out how to do it, what else.
I'm perfectly fine.
Okay, good.
You just don't have, copies of it for everybody, that's all. Yeah, we've got a copier and I already used about, 300 sheets of paper today.
Well, you know what, why don't we just put this on hold and we'll do it.
I've got it open on my computer, I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't have a.
Overhead? Yeah, with
Yeah.
with the Zoom meeting, people can see it.
Yeah, yeah. So why don't we do it another meeting?
Okay.
Monday of the
Okay,
month.
it's 28th of March.
The lease is not the next day, like,
Yeah, March 28th. Do you want to do it earlier?
I'm okay with the, well, it's gonna be, light later. Yeah, because,
Yeah.
because of the time.
Pray ahead. Oh, pray ahead. So 13th.
13th, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am, completely open on the 28th, so.
So I have a question about that. So, do we have to also do this portion too?
Table of contents?
No, the employee handbook.
No, we are just working on the operation. Was that all part of that?
Well, I got this, so I
Yeah,
don't
that's
know
a
why I got
separate,
this.
that is a separate thing that, that Bill Leonard wrote.
Okay, this is Bill.
That's
and
Bill,
this is this.
and that's, the town
Okay.
board drafted this one. So,
This is an emergency plan, this to me is about all the.
yes, that really does not deal with us, that's more,
This is, I don't know
more
why.
of them.
Okay, perfect.
I think the question was just to look through it and see if there's any sections they need to add.
There's
It's
things
not-
that need to change.
Well, there's names need to change.
Yeah.
We need to identify who the public information officer is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On this one, but there's some changes in here that should
Yeah,
be.
but that one is not of concern at the moment. This is the one that they needed because of COVID.
Okay,
We need to have something in place by state law, I think.
okay.
And you said you wanted to look over the employee handbook because there might have been something in there that matched up to emergency stuff, but you weren't.
Yeah, but there's not,
Because Bill.
there's not.
There's that.
I already checked that.
Okay, yeah. So it's this one here, the.
Yes,
and
the
it's
emergency
short.
operations
It's
plan.
only 40 pages, so,
Yep. And file, I sent it out to everybody.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so what was left here on my desk is not 40. You give it to us tonight. You didn't print it.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, it's not printed,
Email it.
I'm still.
Somebody must have left it here.
that might have been, that's where Patty Riker said, that may have been her copy.
Because I'm curious. The names in here,
that's what she said, it had changed.
well, yeah, but what I'm
Does
getting
that one
at,
have a big stain in it?
it's like maybe somebody said something on it.
That may be mine, because that's the one Jim Douglas handed me.
Because no, was not the name, should be putting the name in it.
I agree with you.
I don't think so.
No, it should not.
Because that means we have to address it every time.
Right.
Exactly, that was one of my questions.
Yeah. Yeah, we should not have names.
Are you kind of looking to see what other small towns around here might have done and kind of, you know, see what they said or what they're doing so that you can copy it?
No, because it's already been given to us.
Okay, I
So,
see.
if it's something starting from scratch that we have to design, yes, I do a complete search of local municipalities, and I do a statewide search for other bureaus and districts and find out what they have.
How do you tell what they're lacking in there then? Or don't you, doesn't matter? I'm just trying to
Just
get.
from common knowledge of what's in a operation, what I do.
I'm just asking.
But yes, operations plans and things like that, those are common, things in handbooks. And I've got a bunch of HR background too, so. Just. All right.
Okay, so we're gonna get to March
That'll be March 28th.
Are we good, should I,
That's what is in the emergency plan, it's about COVID update. Yeah.
so should I print a copy at home or will we just have to?
I printed at home, well, I don't want you to have to waste your own paper. I'm gonna have my computer and I will have a projector. I will have it up on it.
Well, if you printed a copy, let's just bring it in, we'll.
Robin printed a copy, she already has updates in it.
Yes,
And
but
you
I-
already
I have-
printed a copy, and I have a copy that Jim Douglas gave me, which I believe is maybe what you're holding.
This is
No, I got one Jim Douglas gave me.
Section we're looking at,
Yeah, see what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so we're not reviewing that tonight. All right. Next was just a quick talk about who went to the Association of Towns Conference and what did you think? And
it was great. I appreciated that it was virtual because obviously we would all been able to attend if it hadn't been. The downside is you don't get to meet individuals network. But I think there's a lot of, but I found the session to be very informative. I was really pleased to listen to our governor speak about, her experience during that town board and, counting in the rent that she's gone through, and she's really committed to, all housing, and housing projects in the state, and she talked a bit about, the budget and looking at trying to help, with the, possible grant programs. I also listened in on a session that was really, more for, town attorneys, but it was on marijuana law. And, very interesting, and they talked a bit about, job descriptions really need to be very, explicit, because, we work has been, marijuana law. It doesn't matter whether you're telling the students to distribute or have accessories. Specific job descriptions and roles and responsibilities. And it becomes very tangled web when you start looking at, marijuana use, legal law, and timing of when individuals are taking up or taking up a solution, and, legal law. Overall, I thought it was really, well worth the knowledge that we had. I commented at the end that, you know, it's wonderful to have the in-person experience, but I do hope that there's an opportunity to somehow combine and have, the virtual experience as well, so that more people. The cost is very expensive, as people down here, more people are able to attend. Yeah, I did. The one thing is what I really seeing what the classes were, a lot of them were really appreciative to Candor members.
Yeah.
And not necessarily us.
They have a thing, if you stay in the same room. where
Yes.
They're all the plan for.
Manning board was not on.
But sometimes, like she said, you go to the legal one, and it's really good. The only thing about the legal one, they're getting credit.
Right.
So they're taking notes.
Yeah.
But they have great handouts.
Well, I did ask that, the recorded sessions, so if anybody else registered, I registered, I know that you registered.
I registered.
Yeah, and so you can go back, once it was over, if you were registered, you could go back, for 30 days to visit the,
Documents.
documents and the recorded sessions to watch them. So, yeah.
Personally, I wasn't thrilled with it compared to what you get out of the Planning Federation conference. I thought that was garbage. About the only thing that I did like was being able to see our governor, Chuck Schumer. The only benefit that I found from Chuck Schumer, and unfortunately I'm gonna have to give a call to his office, was if you want any of the infrastructure money for water in the state, you have to go through his office. That was about the only value that I found. He was pushing agenda.
Control it, talk to.
Comptroller did, however, it wasn't very valuable. Talked a lot about the retirement plan and how he's doing an update and how the money, and he said something that was really odd. He's like, we're in great financial, standing, but by 2035, we're not gonna have enough money in our accounts.
Because of all the people who are retiring and retirement benefits.
No, No, it wasn't even in regards to the retirement plan. This was talking about the financial standing of New York State. I'm like, how can we be in fantastic financial standing if we're gonna be broke in 10 years?
Well, I don't think we'll be broke, but we'll probably be in dire need.
But we're already, as they said, how many hundred billions of dollars in debt? Like $732 billion in debt?
Because of COVID. No.
No, that's just state in general.
Yeah, it's probably.
But we're in great financial standing.
Well, that's
That's the standard.
Well, I guess
Democratic feel.
it was interesting. But I do feel this is more for Candor, not something else.
Yeah.
It is.
But it is nice to get a little bit of information on what they know and if there's any questions they can.
Yeah, a lot of what I saw, I already knew.
But they have as much stuff as they used to have it.
I've never gone to New York City, but just by the agenda, they didn't have a planning board.
We used to have a
track,
10 or 15 sessions going on at the same time.
But
but they didn't have a specific track for it.
So they always had a track.
Yeah. They had a couple
They had a
tracks.
track for code enforcement, legal, for the clerks, and for planning board.
they
So,
had,
and that's yours, Andy, you've gotten that?
Yeah.
So you'll have to give that to Angie. I still have to print that out and provide that to Angie as well.
Concord, Candor, Town Board, tax collector, supervisor category, assessor, attorney, legal issue, code enforcement, justice court, planning, zone category.
It was not, it wasn't, and one of them was the marijuana, which crossed over with other, like, they put multiples in,
Yeah, we
you know.
all used to do that.
Yeah, so it,
Same topic, basically, but different spin.
I wasn't impressed. That was, you know, but that's,
Did you do the virtual?
I didn't want to spend the money for the virtual.
Well, they would have been virtual, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yep, I already got my agreement.
I didn't do it because I was trying to get.
Your other need.
And now it's October.
Yeah, I know you did it, Norma, this next term? No, you didn't, okay.
Susan did.
Susan did, and she thought exactly the same.
I looked over the menu, lack for a better word, and I wanted to wait for the Federation.
Yeah.
One, I thought that would be more
The
beneficial
Planning
to us.
Federation is not having a conference again, I hear. However, they are still offering all their trainings free this year, so you can still go online and do them. That being said, I did hear from them, and they are already working on a conference for 2023. And I hear, I don't know this for a fact, but they'll probably make it an extra day to compensate also for tests usually, but April, it's, in my mind, it's fantastic. I always enjoy the plan.
No.
They've had it at Saratoga Springs, they've had it at Bolton Landing, they've had it at Lake Placid. They've had it, yeah, and the Adirondack and such, so. But it's, that one I highly recommend. And it's cheap, the other thing. They usually get a very good deal with the hotel and everything else. Anyway, that's all that I have. Any other comments, complaints? Throw the book at me.
So, in past, sometimes after you go to the conference, you had something that you learned that was good, give a brief presentation to the board, or a handout or something. If you had something that was meaningful.
You gave the recap on the marijuana.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It's not the responsibility of the town, though. That's the biggest takeaway. It is the responsibility of the owner of the institution, because they have to apply for all the laws and everything else. We fortunately will benefit from having a school in the downtown district, because you can't build a dispensary anywhere within, I forget the distance of a school district. And seeing as how our whole downtown is a school district, it'll be hard to get a dispensary unless it's up on the hill.
I do think it's important, it was important, you know, that I hear things like that, as it relates to, like, the situation, that will really change. You know, one example where they gave, you know, a workers operator, or somebody who's a medic, or a fireman.
No one in your highway department.
Highway department, so you really have to be,
So they already have alcohol there, you just have to probably add to it.
yeah,
Substance abuse,
The other thing,
it is not.
use, which,
Unless it's not,
substance use.
that's substitute, and
Yeah.
I did also learn that, most, restaurants now will not be reporting, that there won't be any, flag or notification if someone is,
Right.
tested for marijuana.
Right.
Like,
unless it's a
it has-
DOT.
Right.
yeah,
It-
DOT
it's-
month.
Because the federal government still calls it illegal.
It is.
In fact, one thing that they said, which was incorrect, and I contacted them afterwards to say it, they're like, you know, so it doesn't matter for grants or anything, that's false. If you are applying for a federal grant and you are, anyone in your department is tested positive for marijuana, you do not get a federal grant. You are totally lost, and they said that wrong on the training.
I said that to the administrator, if you acknowledge you fell for financial aid, that you have paid 20%, you are taxed because
Yeah, no. And that's why it's still, even though it's legal in the state, it's still banned at all universities that do research, because you won't be able to get any federal grants, so. All right.
One thing too, the county's been talking for about 3 months about, especially where they're, the dispensaries, the legal places themselves that have this stuff. They're selling like little stickers, little cartons for $50, and then you get a free bag of marijuana.
Yeah, they've been doing that in a week ago.
Well, you go in and Waverly, they arrested all those people. So they've been after it, but it took them a while to take the case.
And
Yeah.
can I make a copy of what Robin, next time when we come?
Yeah.
Get here early and make a copy?
Absolutely.
If not, I'll print it, but
Yeah,
really don't want to.
Actually, yeah, you can't,
Yeah.
can't copy.
I'll just make 2 additional copies, because I have one, you guys already have one, so I'll just make 2 more before we, get started, and then we'll be good. So, yeah, we do have the New York State Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act, municipal fact sheet.
Well, thank you very much. Because anything with the money transfer through banks and stuff, they can't, if you're a business, you can't do something like money transfers or. If you're a business, that's irrational. No, that's. No, I was reading about it in California.
Yeah, no, there are, some,
Because it's not approved by the federal government.
yep, and the banks are FDA, or not FDA. Yeah, FDIC, protected, so it has to be a special transaction. Yeah, there's a bunch of things.
Well, weird is I saw a YouTube video about it too, and one guy who runs a cannabis store in California, he says, yeah, I have 3 employees, but you can bet your bottom dollar the state wants every tax of the money that they earn, but yet we can't do whatever with the federal.
I know.
And to be honest, I don't know if the federal government will ever approve it.
So I'm gonna.
Actually,
Yeah.
to that,
And that was.
on April 20th, 4/20, 4/20, which is, I don't know where that number comes from, but it's related to marijuana.
It's his birthday, that's part.
Anyway, on April 20th, Chuck Schumer is presenting to Congress the federal marijuana legalization bill.
Oh, my God. Oops. Sorry.
Just so everyone's aware, it's what I do. And the DEA is behind it as and it's not just a one side, it is a bipartisan approved because everybody's just tired of it. So,
That's all they, that's all they think.
oh, yeah.
If they can make money off the rain, they will.
I don't see that thing the governor sure back once they set aside 11 billion in reserves and plan to take up to 19 billion by 2025. Try for that. Emergency.
Yes, I need a motion to adjourn.
Even though we're.
You made a motion? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye, opposed nay. All right, we are dismissed at 8:11.
You made that motion, right? Yeah.
Rob made the motion.
Yes, this is, so you're gonna make new ones of these? Yeah, you're not gonna buy us new ones over here like the other ones?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I can't afford that. Actually, I got kind of an off-the-wall